Bed thoughts. U.S. state religion? Well, let me explain. So, because we're coming up upon Independence Day, which is the day we celebrate our independence from the United Kingdom, and one of the main reasons we sought independence from the United Kingdom and fought the Revolutionary War was over the separation of church and state, because George Washington and so many other people were very upset with the fact that the United Kingdom still had a state religion and they wanted to get rid of that. So, and the fact that the United Kingdom was the colonizing force at that time of what is now the United States of America, the U.S. sought independence because of that. But had George Washington decided to keep the status quo and make himself a king by divine right, he would have needed a state church that would have been able to justify his reign over the United States of America. And because of that, I suggest there are two churches that, had George Washington made himself a king by divine right and needed a state religion to justify his realm, I think that the first church that has a good claim would have been the Episcopal Church, because that was the number one church at that point, because a large number of people came over from England, from the UK, and they were part of the Anglican Church. And because of the fact that there is also the apostolic succession of bishops that would have been the people that would have crowned George Washington king and his successors kings and queens, that they would have been the people that would have had the best claim to be the state religion, because again, all that scriptural command comes from 1st and 2nd Kings as to how kings and queens are to be crowned by bishops and priests. And again, because of the fact that a large number of people were affiliated with the Anglican Church at that point, which then became the Episcopal Church, that's why I think that they have the number one best claim. And the number two church that I suggest that has the best claim to have been the state religion of the United States of America at that point would have been the Presbyterian Church, because a large number of people from the UK also came from Scotland, and the Presbyterian Church was the state religion with the Church of Scotland, and we have in the Presbyterian Church, since I'm a Presbyterian, we have the apostolic succession of our elders and ministers, and they would have been the ones that would have been able to crown George Washington king and his successors kings and queens over the United States of America. And also, because of the fact that George Washington was a much more democratic person, I also suggest that George Washington probably would have selected the Presbyterian Church, because of the fact that we are very democratic, because Presbyterios, meaning governed by Council of Elders in Greek. So that's why I suggest that the Presbyterian Church and the Episcopal Church have the best claims to have been the state religion of the United States of America had George Washington made himself a king by divine right. So yeah, peace and blessings, y'all.